My name is Misha Bakshi. I'm a student, actress, and cosplayer living in Halifax, Nova Scotia. When I first started cosplay, it was just about dressing up and having fun. But my journey into cosplay changed me. It helped me find out more about myself than I ever imagined. I knew I couldn't be the only one. So now I'm headed out, asking other cosplayers what drives them to create and how cosplay has made an impact on them. When people ask me why I cosplay, I tell them it's because I can. At this stage in my cosplay journey, I'm always wondering, how did other people get into this fantastic world? Where did they start? What does cosplay mean to them, and how has it changed them? Today, I'm just across the bridge from Halifax, in Dartmouth. I'm here to chat with my good friend Luca Kelly, a master cosplayer who has won multiple awards for their costumes. I want to know more about how they started, how they became a master cosplayer, and what they've learned along the way. Today, I'm sitting down with Luca Kelly, also known as Wicked Juice Cosplay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into cosplay?
So university, I was always doing like costume parties at people's houses. I had a friend who was like really into costume parties, and like he would drop like hundreds of dollars on like themed parties, and you would get publicly shamed if you weren't in costume. Once I graduated, all my friends were going to conventions, so I said, sure, we'll give it a try.
What are some of your early cosplays? What were the first characters you really began to explore?
Lady Loki. Yeah, that was the first one. And that was the first really extra one because I went and spent like $200 on the pieces to make a scale mail tunic, which weighed 10 pounds, which is a lot to wear, just wandering around. And it jingled very loudly. It was excellent. And so I was kind of hooked. I mean, you get treated like a rock star for a weekend. Well, hard to walk away from that.
One of my big images of you is that you do a lot of really elaborate and beautiful original characters. What's kind of the process for making the costume for those? Do you begin with a design or just like a single concept? How does that all come together?
So that's usually I have just like a little doodle or a sketch or something. And oftentimes it starts with I wonder if I could make a set of antlers. Maybe I'll make one of those, and I just kind of make it up as I go. But they're a lot of fun because you have a lot more creative freedom, and if something's not working, you can change it.
That's it's such an incredible journey from costume parties in a dorm to nationally acclaimed costumer. That's so incredible. Just the journey part has been one of my favorite aspects of this show, is seeing where people started to where they are now.
Don't look at the big celebrated cosplayers. Don't worry about that. Look at the kind of people you see wandering around the floor in the basic costumes, the closet costumes, the bot costumes. It doesn't need to be master's level when you start. Most of us start by getting little bits and pieces of things and modifying them to make them work. Start small, because then you won't get frustrated. You know, you don't have to be 0 to 100. Just take it a few steps at a time. I've gotten a lot more confident and a lot more just kind of secure in my ability to talk to new people. That's definitely changed a lot. Just kind of having that reputation of being somebody who's approachable, it goes a long way to just kind of your social skills and just being able to interact with new people in public. Yeah. When are we changing? I'm curious.
This is where the fun begins. I'm getting into my Yuko Ichihara cosplay, but I am so excited to see what Luka has in store for me. Their costumes never disappoint. And here we are, all dressed. Luka, can you tell me a little bit about this character you're wearing?
So this was the reskin, if you will, of the old sorceress. I learned a bunch of sewing skills, and I wanted to put them in practice. So I made all of the flowers and everything, which was a new thing for me. And the sewing is a lot more structured than other things I've done in the past. And Of course, this halo, which is barbecue skewers. Thank you, Dollarama.
There's just so much like stunning detail in this that like obviously shows your very expansive skill set. About how long did this take you to make?
I started it probably in March and worked on it off and on for about 6 months.
So for an original character like this, like the idea must have come from some place or places. What are some of the inspirations that helped you build this character?
Well, I was kind of going for a lot of like Maleficent vibes on this. Just sort of like the ambiguous fairy character who may help you but probably won't.
How do you feel wearing a costume like this versus how you feel in your everyday?
Part of it is you realize like how much people's reaction to you is based entirely on how you're presenting yourself. So like if you walk up and you just confidently introduce yourself, they react. And having done that in costume for so long, you kind of learn that I can take that in my regular life and you know what, it works too.
In what ways are you a different person now?
Well, it comes with a lot of confidence and also like you can kind of be somebody completely different than you are in your real life. They don't have those expectations, but they do have expectations of like a certain level of person because you look impressive. That's all it is. It's completely shallow. But you look like $1 million, they expect you to be that. So that does take a lot of the pressure out.
If you had to like describe yourself in like 2 words right now, what would they be?
Bad bitch.
You are a bad bitch. Oh my god.
Cosplay is a lifestyle that Luka loves, and they clearly do it so well. My biggest takeaway from our chat is that by embodying these fantastical characters, they've grown so much socially, and it's given them more confidence in their daily life. Cosplay is more than just an art form for people like Luka. It's also a space where they can feel free to explore themselves in a new and unique way.